Hi, good evening. Assalamualaikum. Jefferson, how are you?
Evening, Prof. Doing well. How about you?
Last week, yeah.
Yeah.
You were traveling, right?
Yeah. The other time for work lah.
Okay, time for work.
Yeah.
Shakim, Hafizi, Nadira, Lenaka, Nurul, Hakimi, Zen Yushu, Chong, Chia Jun,
Waalaikumsalam, Prof.
yeah, Mahyuting, Chia, Teng, yeah. No, Shafika. Okay, I'll just go through. Today we'll cover actually another topic, but we haven't finished the last topic. So it's just about feasibility study. We do feasibility of our product and services that we want to do. Some company, some ventures actually, and then we move into financial. Financial is the main part. I think most people assume that financial part is most difficult part to get funding and so on for your entrepreneurship. But it actually comes from the feasibility we have covered. I'll share my screen again. Feasibility. Okay. Okay, we have covered the early parts, which is the feasibility and viability of entrepreneurship. Talk about entrepreneurship as Shampita. We have listened to Saraswati and what the between causation and effectuation, where managerial thinking is on causation. For entrepreneurship, we take it as effectuation. Then the differences between causation and effectuation, and then how we look at viability in via the BMC, through the BMC, business model canvas, and then what is the visibility, desirability, viability, and adaptability, and the feasibility analysis. The several components of feasibility analysis that we should done before we promote our products or services, which is product service feasibility or industry target market feasibility, organizational feasibility, but today we'll cover the financial feasibility. Yeah. So product service feasibility, looking at the two components, which is the desirability and demand, whether people desire our product or there is demand for our product. If there is no desirability of our product, then it's not deemed feasible. So how do we look into desirability, whether the product makes sense? Yeah. So there is a activity that we need to do later. Yeah, we need to do later. You see, we have time today. We'll come back to this part. Yeah, activity look into. So this is an activity that you can consider as your case study. There are some products given here. If we cannot finish it today, we'll just bring it next class. And then product service desirability, from desirability, how do you concept statement, and then we look into product service demand. How do you do product service demand? We're talking face-to-face, online tools, yeah. You do surveys, and then Google Trend, yeah, and then AdWords. Then library or internet, Gumshoe, library research, internet research, Gumshoe research, and then we look into industry target market feasibility. So whether there is industry attractiveness or target market attractiveness, yeah. Then I think we covered all this. Management prowess, resource sufficiency, then what kind of resources do we need? This is for physical businesses. For IT businesses, we mentioned about a website. You need to have some domain hosting. Maybe you have a virtual private server instead of a cloud. Look into whether your need. There's a shared hosting, a low-cost shared hosting. And then now today we move into financial feasibility. Yeah, we start with financial feasibility today. Okay, financial feasibility. What is a financial feasibility? This is the final component of a comprehensive feasibility analysis. We look into the financial feasibility. So we will begin with a preliminary financial assessment. So what is a financial assessment analysis? Financial feasibility analysis will look into total startup cash needed, what is the financial performance of a similar business, and then overall financial attractiveness of the proposed venture. So what is the total startup cash needed? What do you need? How much do you need to start up your business? Yeah. So the first issue when you need okay, when you need to start up your cash, you need to prepare how would you what is needed to create a business in order to make your first sale. What is needed? You need to generate the first sale. Some people call it traction. Traction. Oh, okay. Okay. Traction. Right? Ever heard of the term traction? Anybody have started any business? Traction, yeah, Jefferson? So when you want to do a business, when you approach someone and then you get some funding from your, usually we call it bootstrapping. STRAPPING, bootstrapping, meaning that you start with whatever you have around you. Bootstrapping, you start with whatever you have around you. What do you have? What do you have? Your asset that you have, items that within your disposal, meaning you can make use. You can get from your families. You can get from your friends. Yeah, can you start up something with your friends or any funders? Then you need to start with the first sale to create a traction. With this traction, you can get the response from the customers. I mean, at least you can show that you have the product has make some sale. So you need an actual budget to list all these anticipated capital purchases and operating expenses needed to generate the first, in Malaysia, will be ringgit, first ringgit in your revenue. What is the first thing you need? So the point of this is to determine whether your venture is realistic based on the startup cash needed. If the startup cash needed is too high, meaning that your capital need to be high in order to make a first sale. They just need to create a first sale first. So what is the first thing that you need? That is total startup cash needed. Yeah, that is, we need to clear this. There is a new format, the new tools in the Zoom. I'm not sure whether you realize or not. There is a new tools and I have to familiarize myself. We have spotlight. Now we have a spotlight here. Oh, this is a spotlight. Okay. Arrow. Okay, I'm not sure this. Okay, I just inspect the mouse. Okay. Now, then we look into financial performance of similar businesses. So what is the similar businesses that we have? And then you have their financial records. And then you look into the comparing the financial performance of similar business, which is those already established businesses. And now I'm asking you, where can you get this financial performance of a similar business? Where can you get them? Any idea? Anybody have done any? I think most of you or any one of you have done business, Hakimi or Jefferson. Where can you get this financial performance of a similar business? Where can you get them?
SSM report.
From
SSM,
come again.
the SSM. You
SSM
can
report.
download it.
Okay, SSM report. Okay, in the SSM report, can you get the financial performance of the business? Financial performance. What kind of financial performance do you need here?
How about on Brusa, bro?
On Bursa, okay, on Bursa, this is established business. On SSM, also can establish business. But what kind of financial performance can you get from this Bursa or this SSM? Return SSM. What sort of financial performance can you get this? Can you get their costs, their expenses, their profit, net
Asset cash
operating
flow.
That's probably more in annual report lah,
Yes.
or quarterly report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you get them in an annual report? Can you actually get it from annual report?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Have you really looked at the annual report? Okay. Okay, what I'm asking is actually, in the annual report, what is the requirement of the annual report? And then who is the annual report meant to? The annual reports, when you got, which is the same thing actually, when you look into these reports, when you look into annual reports, when you look at the SSM reports, when you look at the Bursa reports, so what are the reports that you are holding? What is the name of the report?
Investor relations.
Financial report.
Financial reports. It is a financial reports. What is the name? The right name for that financial reports?
PNL, audited PNL.
Audited PNL. Okay, you can call it audited PNL. You can call it final accounts, or you can call it financial report and so on. So, okay, it is a financial accounting reports, actually financial accounting reports. Can you distinguish between have you covered, have you I mean, all of you attended the financial and accounts and finance for decision making, right? Have you
Finance and account, yes.
finance and accounts and decision making, right? Okay, can you distinguish between management account and financial accounts? Can you distinguish the difference between management account and a financial accounts?
Finance. Account.
Yeah, Shakim or Jefferson or Safi, can you distinguish between the financial accounts and a management account? What is the difference between management account and financial accounts? Has anybody seen a management account?
Yeah, I think management account is more into internal view, and is there are no certified. We don't need certified audited.
You don't need certified audit. Okay, in terms of detail, what is the difference between the details of financial accounts and management accounts? Okay, we don't look in the details. Now we look into who are the reports meant to. Who are the target audience? Who are the target readers for the reports? Financial accounts, who are the target? Management accounts, who are the target?
Financial report more into the shareholder.
Okay.
The other one is for the owner of the company lah.
Okay. Financial accounts is meant to investors. It are meant to for investors, those who want to invest. Those who invest. External people. Financial accounts are for those external parties. External parties that want to invest in your company. Do you tell everything to your external parties? Yeah.
No.
No, we don't tell everything to the external parties. And the management account is for the management. That's what is called management account. It is for the management. And then what is the purpose of this management account is for you to understand your components of your revenue, components of your costs, components of your expenses, what are the variable costs, what are the indirect costs, direct costs, variable costs, fixed costs, and so on. So what is the purpose for this management accounts? Is for your internal use, for your organizational use. And then if you want to imitate, we want to understand the financial performance of a similar business, do we look at the financial accounts or we look at the management accounts?
Management.
Management accounts. Can we get management accounts? How do we work out to get management accounts?
Espionage.
Espionage? Any other way? Safi,
I get my account to do.
you get your account to do? Come again?
My admin will do for me.
Your admin to do for you. Okay, okay. Now, what sort of admin the account that your admin do for you? Management account. No, I'm talking about you want to find accounts of a similar business. Accounts of a similar business. How do you get? How do you get them?
Usually, ask the company secretary or my accountant to give us some example lah. What is the other company with related business expenses, and what can we monitor on our expenses.
Okay, if your company secretary or accountant get the reports
Yeah.
from the Bursa, from the SSM, will they get management account? Will they get financial accounts?
Financial.
They will get financial accounts. So how do you work out to be management accounts? How do you
So
work it out to be management accounts?
management account more into the enterprise company. Usually the Sendian Berhad, they don't reveal the management account, only the certified account.
No, nothing to do with enterprise company or Sendirian Berhad. Actually, management account. All companies need to have management account and financial accounts. Nothing to do. Nothing to do with whether it is a listed company or there's nothing to do. All companies need to have the management account and the financial accounts. Only that because you are a very small company, sometimes you only do financial accounts because you don't have the capacity, you don't have money to hire people to do management accounts. So you just do financial accounts. But it is recommended that you also have management account. Why do we need management accounts?
For us, for me, who is enterprise and Sendian Berhad, I need the management account for myself, for my tax. Tax need my management account for the payment, the individual payment. They combine too. So I need to present to the tax for the management account too.
Okay, actually for your financial for your tax purposes, you only need to show your financial account. You don't need to show your management accounts. Management
Yeah,
accounts for internal purposes.
But they say that enterprise, you are related to internal. You are not listed in the company unless the Sendian Berhad is different, dia kata. So I
You are
give
not,
two lah for my company. I have two companies, Sendian Berhad and enterprise. So I need to have two account, which is one management account certified, and the other one is the financial account lah, which is certified too. So even though we are a small company, they also ask for both. I'm
okay,
not sure why.
what is the difference between management account and financial accounts?
The management account more into the internal lah, internal view. From my view is more into detail.
Okay, you have details. Okay, now you want to get management account of another company. Can you get them?
I never asked.
Okay, do you know whether your company secretary submitted both accounts to the SSM?
Yes.
They submitted both accounts to the SSM.
Not to the SSM, to the lembaga hasil.
Lembaga hasil, they submitted both
Yeah.
accounts. Okay,
Yes.
to SSM, lembaga hasil is actually not public it's not accessible to public. Now you want to get something from another company. Say your company is ABC, you want to get company of XYZ. How do you get the management account from XYZ?
In SSM we can buy, but I'm not sure whether we can get the management account too. But we can get the company info in SSM portal.
Yes, but can you get the management account?
Not sure.
No, you cannot get because management account is confidential to the company. Do you want to tell others what you have? And what is your strategy? And then how do you
No.
work out?
Privacy, private and confidential.
Private and confidential. So that's why I'm asking, how do you get other people's financial management accounts? How do you get other people's management account?
Is it possible?
There is a way. There is a way because you want to get financial performance of similar businesses. So my question is first, do you get management account or financial accounts? If you get financial accounts, it doesn't have any total because you have total turnover, total direct expenses, total indirect expenses, and then that is for a small company, that is what all they provide. And then you get the P&L of these companies. That's all they provide. But you do not know how they work out their performance, meaning how they would manage their cost component. How do you manage their cost component, direct cost, indirect cost? How do they do that? So it's not shown there. So you need a management account. So is it possible for you to obtain management accounts of another company? Management accounts, not financial accounts. Management accounts, not your company. Of course, you have your management accounts of your own company. I'm talking about you want to look into management accounts of another company. Is it possible, Safi? Anybody can answer me? Hakimi or anybody?
What if we analyze their financial account?
Yeah. How? You can get the financial accounts. Financial accounts is public. Is open to the public. They need to submit.
I mean we can get their revenue, profit margin on their financial account. Then we take the data to analysis. Then we can get their direct costs and indirect costs for the management account.
Okay, how do you work it out? How do you work it out? Can you work it out? Is it possible for you to work it out? Safi, boleh tak Safi? Do you think?
Boleh apa, Prof?
Get management accounts of another company.
I don't think so because there's a law of company, right?
No, the law doesn't mention that. It's up to you whether you want to get a management account from another company or not. The law doesn't say you cannot get. Is it possible? Yeah, Jefferson. How is it possible, Jefferson?
I can't think of it like no, not legally anyway.
Okay, it's like this. Yeah, this is my trick. Yeah, I've been doing financial analysis. Actually, I was a financial planner. You look at the financial accounts of the company, and then you can take several companies, and then what you need to look at is actually you look at the notes to the accounts. You look at the notes to the accounts. Do you know what are the notes to the accounts?
Yes,
What
yes.
is that? Notes to the account.
Notes to the accounts. What is the notes to the accounts? Have you read the notes to the accounts? When you look at the annual reports, there are notes to the accounts.
Their assumption of that particular account.
No, there's not the assumption. It is reports. It is a report. It's an assumption. It is actual report. It is audited. The notes to the accounts are audited figures.
Assumption on how they treat certain accounting.
Yes. You can work out the assumption. From the notes to the accounts, you can work backward and then relate to their financial accounts. And then you can actually see some general idea or general observation of their management accounts. Yeah. Okay. May, any question? Anything, May? Anything that you want to add?
No, unfortunately, doctor.
Is it clear, Safi? Have you seen the notes to the accounts?
I'm trying to find one now, but I couldn't find yet.
Okay. Actually, when we submit our accounts to the SSM, to the auditors, the legal requirement is to submit financial accounts only. Financial accounts is meant to provide, what do you call it, financial accounts. The purpose of financial accounts is to provide a true and fair view of the condition of the company. True and fair view of the condition of the company. So that is a purpose of financial accounts. So from the true and fair view of the condition of the company, the external parties, either the regulatories, including tax department, it is a regulatory, either regulatories or the SSM or any investors can look at your company and then make assessment of the company in terms of the true and fair view. What is the position of the company? Position of the company meaning that they can look into your net tangible asset, NTA. They can look into whether your gearing of the company, liability of the company, and so on. But that's all that they want to see. But they are the management, the financial accounts does not really show the operational performance of the company. The operational performance of the company is reflected in the management account, because management account is meant for the management in their day-to-day operations or in their planning, their developing of their strategy. So they use management account. And then in the management account, we have there are details like the revenue and breakdown of this revenue, what kind of products they sell, the services that they provide. And then the cost component, we have this capital cost, operational costs, operational expenses, and so on, and the breakdown. And then where are the variable costs, which one is the fixed cost, and so on. So you can estimate the operation of the company. Essentially, they are used for planning. But when they submit the reports, components in the financial accounts need to be broken down. Some of the components need to be broken down according to the Malaysian Accounting Standard, yeah, or IAS, International Accounting Standard. They need to be broken down. When they break down, you can see the components. For example, depreciation. What is the rate of depreciation of each product, and so on. Yeah. So these are broken down in the notes to the accounts. Notes to the accounts is after you have this balance sheet or its income or your balance sheet, and then you have P&L, and then you have cash flow. At the end of it, there is some notes to the account. You can get access to the notes to the accounts, and then you can actually notes to the accounts come together with the financial reports. So you can work backward, and then you can break down the financial accounts. So it will reflect not to the state up to the level of the management account, but you can see how it operates, how the company operates. So, but you have to do some work. You have to do some work. You cannot just take it and then read it like that, meaning that you have to use the financial accounts. So and then you can combine with some industry trend analysis, reports, and so on. And then you look into some companies, actually major companies, they have this announcement that they make. They are required to make announcement, especially listed companies. So you can look in their announcement in the newspapers and so on. So you can see what they do, how they do their things, and then you can, filter out those that is not relevant to your company. And then what is the idea for you to have this financial performance of similar business? What is the idea? What is the purpose when you want to start up a business?
To draw a line.
Yeah, so that you can see what is the ratio of cost of the cost, COST of the cost ratio, and then what is the trend for past years, for example, where is their target market, and so on. So based on that, you can gauge and plan your strategy. Yeah. Okay. Then only you look into the overall financial attractiveness. So you look into with the financial factors, you based on your startup, and then the opportunity, and then you will create a financial attractiveness of your proposed investment. So, and then you can show this to angel investor, if you want to go for angel investor, or to venture capital, or even for your own planning, or you get funding from your friends or family. So there are some feasibility analysis. Yeah. So we cannot rely on financial accounts for feasibility analysis, because financial accounts are mainly showing the idea of financial accounts is just to show the revenue or the turnover, the cost, and the gross operating profit before tax. And then tax. That is the few lines of financial performance. Of course, there are some additional that you can put in, for example, salaries and some, but those are the basic. But but some other supporting you need to provide in your notes to the accounts. Most probably, yes, Safi, in your case, what you need to submit is actually the final accounts only. But in order to prepare the notes to the accounts, your auditors might have to look at your management report. So management reports, in the management report, they will put in some components of your management report to put into your notes to the accounts before they submit the full accounts to the authority or to the tax and so on. But what they want to see is just the financial accounts. But financial accounts need to have this notes to the accounts. But if you rely on the notes of the accounts, we will not see much. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. And then what is the expected or overall financial attractiveness of the proposed venture? You need to look into, there must be steady and rapid growth, at least for the during first 5 or 7 years. So in a properly defined market niche, you need to know your market niche. And then high percentage of recurring revenue, meaning that once you have a client, the client will continue to recur sources of the revenue. And then you are able to forecast income expenses within a reasonable degree of certainty, meaning that you can see the population or target population, your target market, what is the size of target market. Say you want to sell in Brunei, for example, you know the population of Brunei is 500,000. You cannot be selling more than 1 million or unit of products in Brunei. You need to know what is the location, what is the target location, your target market, and then what is the total size of that market. So you will need to be able to forecast income expenses with a reasonable degree of certainty. And then there should be some internally generated funds to finance and sustain your growth. And then availability of exit opportunity for investors. So what is an exit opportunity? What is the common exit opportunity for investors to convert equity to cash? Do you know what is an exit opportunity?
IPO.
IPO. Most companies go for IPO, but is it if you go for VC, venture capital, or do they go for IPO usually? Because everybody comes with IPO. They want to have another more recent, and a more possible exit opportunity for them, meaning that there are some buyers to get they can buy in and so on. Yeah. So okay. This is your proposed financial, and then you need to look into the financial management. How do you manage your fund? How do you raise money, manage funds, funding and so on? Okay, what is the opportunity to raise money in Malaysia, for example, today? How you can raise money? Can you raise money for your ventures? And say you have some traction, and then you want to grow. How do you can get the funds? Where can you get the funds? Yes.
SME bank.
SME bank. SME bank. Huh?
Crowdfund.
Crowdfunding. Okay. Where do you get this crowdfunding, Safi?
Crowdfunding can be online.
Okay. From where?
From
Maybe
where?
you want to
From
share?
the public.
From the public. How do you get crowdfunding from the public? What is the process?
For the crowdfund, you need to present what is your business and how your business will grow and how the fund will get the profit.
Okay, where do you do this? Where do you do this? Where do you get the crowdfunding? Where do you do this? Do you go, do you just go around and get from public, okay, this is to my business, and then you get some fund? Can you do that?
No, I think it's illegal.
Yes, that's illegal. So how do you do that?
Through
Uh,
investment bank.
Magic.
Yes, magic.
Last time
Magic.
got magic lah. Now
Let's
now
say
no
magic.
magic.
No, no
Now
magic. But magic,
now
how does magic arrange? How does magic arrange? Do they magic? Does magic get crowdfunding
magic is through the pitching.
through pitching? So where do you get the fund? Is it from crowdfunding?
I
More
think
VC lah.
Magic is for VC, venture capital, not crowdfunding. I was involved in magic previously, so they get from VC, venture capital. MET, I think. Yeah, magic.
I think we are apps. We have GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, okay? There is GoFundMe. Where is it located, GoFundMe?
Not sure.
Not sure.
For,
Okay,
for Malaysia, there's a pitch in.
pitch in, okay.
Yeah.
Where is
Pitch
pitch in? Where do you get this pitch in? Where is this pitch in get? And then who is the pitch in actually?
Anyone or a company.
Okay, anyone or company? Okay, Koh, you want to comment just now?
Made through investment bank as well.
Through investment bank. Okay, most banks are today investment bank. Most bank in Malaysia actually turning into investment bank. Can you get fund from the bank?
Probably we can approach them. So if they're interested with the proposal or our investment plan, yeah, they will buy some shares from us.
Yeah. Have you tried?
No, haven't.
Okay. Okay. I'll share something with you. I'll stop share this first. I'll share something with you, with all of you. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I need to open my browser. Okay. This is a website. Yeah. You can take this address, this website address for your future. Okay, I need to share the screen. Okay, this is the website of Capital Market Malaysia, Malaysian Capital Market. Yes, this is Malaysian Capital Market. So, who organized this Malaysian Capital Market? It is the Securities Commission. Securities Commission. Do you know who are the Securities Commission? Securities Commission Malaysia, Suruhanjaya Security Malaysia. Yeah, Suruhanjaya Security. So there are public market, private market, digital market. You know, we're talking about digital today. So you're looking into digital market. We have this equity crowdfunding. This is an equity crowdfunding. This equity crowdfunding is a platform to raise fund for small businesses to get fund from the public. Yeah, this is from the public. So they use online platform registered with SC. So these platforms actually are actually licensed by the Securities Commission. They obtain license from the government. Yeah, they are licensed by the Securities Commission. So today in Malaysia, they have raised 560.4 million, 330 campaigns, and then 248 issuers. Yeah, so this is campaign size. And then those are the fundraisers, sectors in the fundraising, professional, scientific, information communication, and so on. So this is type of investors, technology issuers, mostly are non-technology, only 49%. Okay, we can say equivalent, technology and non-technology. Technology is about 49%. And then eligibility to become a crowdfunder, a platform provider, these are. And then who can raise funds through this ECF, crowdfunding, yeah. So these are the commercially or financially complex structure, public listed companies. So these are people who can raise funds from this ECF. The limit to the maximum is 20 million. And then those who can invest in the ECF, is retail investor, angel investor, and sophisticated investors. Yeah. So these are the operators. These are the operators. Yeah. So mentioned just now, pitching. Someone mentioned just now pitching, right? Who mentioned pitching just now?
Me, Prof.
Akimi, pitching, My Starter, Eureka, funded by me, Funnel, Left Capital, Etis, CrowdDo, iPivot, and so on. So you mentioned pitching, you can look at pitching. So this is pitching. Pitching is a platform. Pitching is a platform which are licensed by the Securities Commission. When you don't have license by Security Commission, you cannot raise fund because otherwise you end up in jail because it is illegal. So in order to get, so for example, Pack 1 invested 20,000 in Premium Logi Plantation, and then Anonymous invested 10,000 in Premium Logi Plantation. So this is the fundraising activities. So this is Premium Logi, sell durian, I think. Agriculture, Ribbon. So these are the companies that managed to raise fund. So it has raised 2 million for this left. The target is just 500,000. And then this company, Ribbon, has raised 227,000. The target is only 250,000. Yeah, there are 29 investors here. So these are companies. So you can get fintech companies also here, and then you can do campaigns here. So these are the platform you can get to raise fund for those companies that are a startup, because when you are a startup, you cannot get to the bank. You go to the bank, they want to see collateral or covenant securities. They want to see your traction record for some years. Maybe some banks under SME financing of a certain small amount, they can give you up to when you have a track record of 6 months and above of revenue. So otherwise, you can go for these options. Yeah. Okay. Besides this, there is another platform. Okay. There is another platform. Besides this, we have to go back to the equity. Okay. We go back to this. Okay. Okay. There is another digital segment which is called peer-to-peer financing. The difference between peer-to-peer financing and equity crowdfunding is the peer-to-peer financing is based on loans. So it's still still licensed by by Securities Commission. They are not by Bank Negara. So we have Elixco, FinPal, CapBay, CrowdSense. Yeah. So it is a different group of companies, unlike the ECF. But these are P2P operators. They are still platform. They are platform. For example, Elixco is a platform. Yeah. So you can invest or you can get finance, but it is based on interest. So this interest is quite high. For example, it's 14.88, 14.88, 14.7%. Yeah, the rate is 14.5%, 14.88%. So interest is high. So they give financing. They give financing instead of equity crowdfunding where they hold equity. For P2P, they don't hold equity, but they give financing with a very high interest. But it is very short, 6 months. For example, you want to these people cheap to shop, want to raise R500,000 ringgit at the rate of 14.5%. The tenure is 6 months, meaning that after 6 months, they will give you, if you put in 100,000, you will get 114,500. Yeah, 14%. After 6 months. Yes. So this is the source of fund that you can get for startup companies. Okay, any questions so far? Have you seen this, Safi? Have you when you mentioned crowdfunding?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then it's good. So that is where you can get crowdfunding, not from banks, actually from crowdfunders. And then you cannot go on if you cannot go and get fund from public. It is illegal. It is called illegal deposit taking. So you must get it from licensed platform, the crowdfunding license platform. Their license is from Securities Commission, so they put into capital market platform. Okay, now
I have actually been meeting someone who made her own crowdfunding doing tuition business.
okay, yes. So which platform did she use?
She just do illegal.
Oh, she just do
Just
illegal.
present and go moving from one expo to one expo, taking the taking the tuition business as a
Okay.
business.
Okay.
Then suddenly after 6 months, she got the 2 million investment from the public, but the Bank Negara freeze all the account in 6 months.
She freeze all the account. Did she end up in jail?
Yeah.
Yes. We should
Yes.
put end up in jail actually.
Yeah.
You cannot get fine because that is under anti-money laundering and call it act and so on. So you cannot go and deposit taking, deposit taking is illegal actually. So you cannot just go, but there is a way to do that. So there is a way to do that. How do you do that? You find a licensed crowdfunder. This licensed crowdfunder, this licensed crowdfunder actually, they will put their requirement actually in a platform, in a legal platform. The legal platform are licensed by the central. It's not by Bank Negara actually. It's by Securities Commission. That's where people got mixed up and say this is Bank Negara. No, it is not Bank Negara. This is under Securities Commission, Suruhanjaya Security Malaysia. So they will issue, and then the requirement, they will make a campaign, and then there is a limit of the campaign, and then it is regulated, and then it is monitored by the Securities Commission. Yeah. Okay, so you can raise money, and then you can manage company's finances. So how do you manage company? You can look into preparing, analyzing, maintaining past financial statement. So you can actually you can look at the previous records, like I mentioned to you. When you look into the proposed venture, you need to develop your financial statement. You cannot just plucking figures from the air. You need to look at previous record, some other businesses. Of course, when you obtain it, you will not obtain the actual financial management accounts. You will only have access to the financial accounts, but you can work backward. You pick up the notes to the accounts, and then you work backward. You can see, you can somehow sketch up back the management accounts. Actually, I've did it so many times. You can see the management account after you picking it up from some information from the notes to the accounts. Yeah, and then you work out, and then you need to identify what will your need for finances during the first few years, and then how you will grow, and then you do a projection, and then with that you can raise fund by going into some tracks like crowdfunding or P2P financing and so on. The difference between crowdfunding and P2P financing is crowdfunding will take up equity in your company. If you fail, they will take over your company. P2P financing, they will not take up they will not take up equity in your company, but you are providing a guarantee. They will still chase after you if the company collapses. You personally, yeah. But the interest is quite high for P2P funding, P2P financing, because P2P lending, we call it, because high risk again, and then the interest rate is quite high, but it's for short duration. So in order to develop that, you will prepare a pro forma or projected financial statement. Yeah. So how do you develop your pro forma? You will work out so you will work out the pro forma after this. Yeah. And then when in preparing the financial management, you need to know where you are going, where you are leading, and then how you making or losing money, how much cash do you have in hand if you do bootstrapping, and then do you have enough cash to meet your short-term obligation, how efficiently will you utilize your asset, how do our gross and net profit compare to those of our industry peers and so on. Yeah, whether how will you use the fund, how you can partner with other firms, and then are you in good shape financially? Okay, these are the common questions. If you go for Magic, you go for any venture capital pitching, venture capital pitching. And then, okay, now that we have mentioned venture capital, can you distinguish between venture capital and angel investor? What is the difference between venture capital and angel investor? What is venture capital? What is angel investor?
Angel investor would come in a bit earlier, like seed funding, maybe for A, and then VC will come a bit later. At later stage once you get more traction.
Okay, who are they? Who are the venture capital actually?
Cradle. People like Cradle. It can be a people who manage funding from private investors.
Okay, people are like Cradle can be deemed as angel investor.
Okay.
Angel investor. What is the difference between angel investor and venture capital?
The amount.
Okay, it's like this. Angel investors may invest using their own money. And angel investors are rich people. Yeah, maybe one day any of you will become angel investor. So you have your own huge source of money that you have resources, and then you invest in your own. So sometimes the interest is not that high because you are investing in your home, in your own. So it means even not interest, the demand for return is not that high. Yes, because you are investing on using your own money. So and then a little bit lenient, not that strict. Yeah, angel investors. Even though Cradle is actually using the fund from Ministry of Finance. Yeah, so Ministry of Finance have their own resources. So Cradle is agency. It's an agency under MOF. Cradle is an agency under MOF to fund some startup projects, seed projects. Yeah, Cradle fund. And then whereas venture capital are fund managers. Venture capital are fund managers, meaning that they hold other people's fund. So people have money, but I want to make return. I want to generate, I have a huge amount of money. For example, I want to make, if I put in the bank, I can generate about 3% per annum, but I don't want 3% per annum. I want to have, say, at least 12% per annum. I want to have 12% per annum. So I put up money in the venture capital, and the venture capital will take my money, combine with other, maybe from Jefferson, from Safi, from from Hakimi, combine money, and then the venture capital will promise certain return. I will give you 12%. So I will expecting 12% from the venture capital. So the venture capital as a fund manager, they have their officers will invest into these companies. If they are expected to provide return to me at 12%, of course, they will expect a much higher return from the ventures, from the companies, because they have to give funds back to me. So they are using other people's fund. Is it clear, Hakimi, the difference between venture capital and angel investor?
Got it, Prof. Thanks.
Okay. So who is better? Who do you get? Which is better? Go for angel investor or go for venture capital?
Angel.
But venture capital have larger amount of fund.
Both are great.
Yeah, venture capital have larger amount of fund. Of course, right? Because they gather other people's money, they will have larger amount of fund. If you expect to have large amount of fund, but you can assure the return, a huge return, you can go for venture capital. But if you're a small startup and then you don't need so much fund, you can get from venture Cradle. For example, Cradle will give about $500,000 each. I think you can get 100,000 to $500,000 from Cradle. Yeah. It's a small funds. You cannot get about 5 million, 10 million, 20 million from, but you can get them from venture capital. It depends on the amount of fund that you need, and then the size of the amount of fund, and then what would be your return, so that you can share with your funders. Okay. Any questions so far? Jefferson, okay? Safi, okay? Cool.
So Prof, what would be the I mean, what would be the line of thinking, which one to choose, the angel investor or the VC?
VC depends on which part of business you are. If you are early startup, too early, VC is difficult to get. To be frank, I was there. Difficult to get from VC. VC would like to see some traction, some assurance that you can make. Because why? VC is not handling their own money. They have to provide return back to their funders, their investors. So they need to make sure. That's why you can say some people difficult to get money. For example, in the case of for example, like Malaysia, for example, you go to certain venture capital, and the venture capital get fund, for example, like Grab, for example, and then people ask. So when you go to venture capital need to assure themselves that you are able to generate that amount of money and settle off the dividend, annual dividend, so that they can pay off the dividend of the investor to the investor. They need to settle in the investor. You put yourself in the angel and in the venture capital shoes, right? So you can see what would be the expectation from you if you are an entrepreneur. But in case of angel investor, usually they use their own money, so they will not put all eggs in one basket. They will put small amount of money, because their money is not that big. They are individuals, corporations, but they are using their own money. Maybe government entity, they're using the government money. And then they will not give specifically to you, they will give a lot of people. Although Cradle is from Ministry of Finance, but they will not put all amount of money to 1 or 2%. They will spread it out. So everybody have some amount, small amount of money. So it will not be big, but the expectation of return also is not that big, because they are using their own money. So it is depend on which position are you in. If you are an early startup, most probably you go for angel investor, cradle fund, and so on. If you have scale up, you can go for venture capital. Yeah. For example, like Grab, they have started with My Taxi. Then scaling up, they go for Grab. Grab is a scaling up of My Taxi. They started with My Taxi. My Taxi, it was funded in Malaysia, but Grab was funded by Temasek in Singapore. So, does that answer you, Jefferson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anybody want to give some comments? Safi or Ko? Safi has experience. Yes, Safi? What do you think? Which one do you go? Ko, yes.
Prof, what about PE, private equity?
Private equity. Private equity is actually you go to the personal equity and then they hold equity in you. So it is not through a platform. It is not through a platform. You go direct. A certain company invest in you. It is actually a company, private to private communication. That is private equity.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
Thanks.
It's not through platform.
Prof.
Yes, Akimi, yeah.
Quick question. How about the accelerator program or incubator program, such as Petronas Future Tech, or I mean, Magic also have their own accelerator program. They provide funding, but more than funding.
Okay, when you look into these programs, actually, I also involved in this program previously. We have small program like like Tube, small program, and then there are big program in Magic and so on. These are program what you call organizers. These program organizers will bring in investors from amongst the angel investors as well as VC, but usually they will put in separately. For example, like there is cradle arranged for example, what we call it, plug and play session by Proficio, for example. So there are people organize like Dash, what is the name? Dash. There are some companies. If you have been in entrepreneurship in Malaysia, you will know these people. And then so Dr. Siva and so on. So his company is Siva Palan. His company is Proficio. So he organized with Cradle. So he bring in. So in his program he bring in angel investor, which is Cradle. So some companies, some organizers will bring in venture capital, for example, like MFCAP, like TIC Capital, a few capital. So they will bring in some capital, venture capital from Singapore as well. So they will organize program. So in program like such as accelerator and so on, you will see both. Some of them are angel investors, some of them are venture capital. But if you look into the profile of the company, you can realize, okay, these are angel investors, these are venture capital. You can also look into their term sheet. They will provide a term sheet. When the rate is high, usually it's venture capital. So both of them will come. Both groups will come. They will sit in the session that interests them. Yes. So you can sit in when this session interests them, they will sit in there. So because not all these venture capitals or angel investors will sit in all sessions when the organizer organize sessions, they will sit in the session that interests them. Some of the startup, usually it will be attractive to angel investors, but those that has been accelerated, for example, it will be more attractive to venture capitals. Yeah. Does that answer you, Akimi?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Anybody want to share anything else? Safi?
Prof,
Yeah, Shakim.
I want to ask, just like Shark Tank, you see the television, we have Mark Cuban. What is the category? Is it private investor or?
I'm not sure about Shark Tank, but I can see based on the name of company, the name, how they represent themselves. Some of them are VC, some of them are angel investor. VC will be able to spend more. Angel investor, they would like to spend lower. They are still rich people, but they don't. But if they want to, they can still invest large amount of. But most of the time, they will put all. They don't want to put all eggs in one basket. So you can see how they are represented. They are what they are introduced. So this is an venture capital. From this, he holds some amount of fund and so on. Okay, that is a venture capital. Okay, this is an established entrepreneur. So he has invested in, so this is an angel investor. Usually, those who invested themselves are angel investors. Those who invest on behalf of a group of people, they are venture capital.
See.
Yeah, did I answer you, Shakim?
Yes, very clear, Prof. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question, Shakim? Safi, anything you want to comment, Safi? Or Jefferson, Ko, Ashraf, Hakimi? Okay. Okay, we can, I think we look into some of the financial ratios, yeah? And then, okay, we'll continue. Okay, and then in terms of the financial objectives of a firm, there are 4 primary objectives that entrepreneurial firms should look at. Yeah, these are the profitability of the company. So the companies need to be able to make a profit. So when you look at the financial statement, it will be in terms of the profitability, P&L, income statement. So this is where you can see that the companies are able to make profit. The revenue must exceed the total cost. And then liquidity, you need to be able to meet the short-term obligation. This one, you look at the cash flow. So in terms of and also in terms of at the balance sheet. At the balance sheet, you look into the gearing of the company between the short-term liability and the long-term liability. It must be able to serve its short-term liability, meaning that your cash amount, there is cash ratio or asset test ratio to measure the liquidity of the company, and then efficiency, how productively a firm utilizes its asset, and then stability. Yeah. So stability is relates to the debt to equity ratio. How much is debt against the equity of the company? Yeah, debt to equity ratio. So if the company is too heavy in terms of its gearing, it might not be stable, and then it might not be able to meet its short-term obligations. Yeah, short-term obligation. How do you determine short-term and long-term obligation? What is the measurement?
Less than 12 months is short term.
Yes, 12 months and below is short-term. Above 30 months and above is long-term. Yes, so anything above it. So in terms of profitability, whether the company is able to make a profit. So many startups are not profitable during their first 3 years, but it need to become profitable to remain viable and provide return to its owners, and then otherwise the owners will not be able to continue. And then liquidity is how it should be able to meet its short-term financial obligation. So you need to have some cash money in the bank to meet the routine obligations in a timely manner. So the cash flow must come in a time to cover all its current expenses, which is the current liabilities. Yeah. And then efficiency. So we look into companies, how it utilize its asset. So the turnaround time, yeah. And then stability, the vigor and strength in firms in its financial posture. You look into how do they keep their debt in check. So the debt to debt to equity ratio. Yeah. So, and then you look into the financial statement. This is, I think most of this you cover in accounting and finance for decision making to assess whether the financial reports describe the financial health. You look into the income statement, balance sheet statement, and then cash flow statement of the bank. You develop a forecast based on what the future income expenses based on past performance or the performance of another company. You can develop a pro forma, meaning things have not happened yet, but pro forma, projection, yeah, of future plans of the company. Yeah, so it should based on forecast, estimated sales, industry averages, and so on. Based on previous costs, they look into like I mentioned, you can get another companies or relevant companies. When you venture into that area, you find other companies, and then you obtain their financial accounts or financial reports from the SSM. And then, of course, it's not shown there, but you work it out backward using the notes to the accounts and then other financial or industrial reports, and you work backwards so that you can determine what is the cost of goods sold and other expenses, so that you can work out your budget, your own budget forecast, and then you plan. Then you need to be sincere with yourself. You know whether your company or your business will be making or not. If you put extra figures just to show that your profit will be high, it's not good, because at the end, when the company doesn't pay for the sake of getting loans and so on, but when the time comes, actually you still have to serve the loan. You still have to service the loan. And then you need to use, use financial ratios. There are financial ratios that you need to look at, like liquidity ratio, yeah, gearing ratios, yes. And then you need to know your break-even points and so on. Yeah. So it's good that you maintain your financial management, and then you will prepare your income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flow, and then for that you will work out your income, expenses, and capital expenditure. Then you prepare. This is from historic or from previous records of other banks, yeah, other banks, other companies. I was from banks actually, yeah, from other companies. It's my mouse. Okay, this is historic. If you are a new startup, you use other companies, and then you prepare your own forecast. What it will be your income, your expenses, or your capital expenditure. Where if you go for angel investors like Cradle, they want to know how much would you spend if you require $500,000, for example, for your startup, capital for Cradle to invest, and then they will ask, okay, within this 1 year or 2 years, how much would you spend on capital expenses, on operating expenses? Then from there, you will develop your pro forma income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. And then you combine with your ratio analysis. Yeah, this is an ongoing month by month. You look into your ratio analysis. You compare your result versus your plan, and then you compare your result against your industry norms. So you know where you are. You need to know where you are. Yeah. Okay, and then this is the pro forma. Okay. Yeah. This is what I mentioned. Looking at the historical financial statements, you can look into other companies as well. Develop your pro forma financial statement. This is a case. Yeah, this is a case. So you will develop this income statement, balance sheet, and statement of cash flow. This is an example of income statement. Yeah, you can see this is a very basic income statement. This is what you see in financial accounts, but you can see here cost of sale and gross profit, because this is an example of just buying and selling. This is trading income, trading business. This is called consolidated balance sheet, and then liabilities. The difference between long-term liabilities and current liabilities is 12 months or not on your cash flow. Okay, and then you do ratio analysis, and then compare it to industry norms. This is ratio analysis, return on asset, which is net income average over net asset, return on equity, ROE, net income average over shareholders' equity, profit margin over net income on net sales, liquidity ratio, can have current ratio with current asset over current liability, or quick ratio, quick asset. Quick asset is actually minus the current liability, we divide by current liability. Quick asset. Quick asset is current asset. Yeah, which is and then minus the current liabilities. And then debt to equity ratio, your debt ratio, which is debt to total asset, debt to equity ratio, total liability of owner's equity. I think you have covered this in your accounting and finance for decision making, right? I think you have this all this ratio. Then you develop a forecast. Yeah. Forecast using a pro forma. You can have sales forecast. You know, develop a sales forecast, sales projection in a year, but it's good to do it monthly, so you can show the growth. And then start with your first sale, when you want to create your first sale, and how much is expected, and then how do you create the next sales, how do you increase, and then actual plan, you do an actual plan, how do you increase your sales. Yeah. And then you forecast cost of sales, you look into your material, and then you project if there will be an increase in your cost of sales, cost of goods sold, of cost of sales. If there is an increase of certain raw materials, transportation, and so on, so you will need to forecast them. We'll prepare a pro forma financial statement. Yeah. Okay, this is pro forma income statement, pro forma balance sheet. I think we have showed this ratio analysis. Oh, this is repeating. Okay, now we will cover the marketplace and e-environment for this topic. Okay, I think can we take a break? Do you need a break? Yeah, we have covered the feasibility. Any questions so far? There is 3 messages. Yeah, any question? Today, a little bit on accounting. Okay, the question will take a break of 15 minutes. We'll come back at 9:30. We'll come back at 9:30, and then we'll cover. If otherwise, we'll continue cover on the next topic. Okay, see you. Okay, we can continue. Okay, this is the topic that appears in today's today's topic in your LMS, which is on marketplace and environment. When we want to start business, we look into the situation analysis, which is the environment scanning, to environmental scanning. There are factors, we call it micro environment factors and macro environment factors. Micro environment factors are those surrounding the organization, surrounding the enterprise, which are your suppliers, competitors, intermediaries, and then your customers. So these are surrounding your enterprise. You can look at it in the context of, say, you look at it when you learn about the Porter's 5 forces. Then Porter's 5 forces, you have your traditional rivalry, you have new competitors coming in, your substitutes, your suppliers, and supplier, and your customers, and then until you have reached your consumers. So these are your micro environment. And then outside this micro environment, you have your macro environment. You need to scan, which are your internationally, what are the economic factors, international economic factors, legal constraint in terms of economic factors, cultural factors, because you will be getting products from international, for example, or you'll be marketing products international. You look into the society, what is the public opinion of certain products that you're going to market, your moral constraint of this product, ethical constraint of this product. Yeah. And then country specific economic factors of this country, the legal constraint, certain products could be sold in Malaysia, certain products could not be sold in Malaysia. It is legal somewhere else. For example, like cannabis oil for medication is legal in Thailand, but it's still not legal in Malaysia. For example, the cultural factors in Malaysia. So this is country specific, and also technology. Technology are macro environment. It is not surrounding you, but you can make use of it, the innovation and trends. Yeah. So you do this environmental scanning. In terms of the customers, you look into this is your micro environment. What services are they offering? Are you offering via the website of your organization that could support them? Your competitor, you need to benchmark against your competitor. What do they have? Your intermediaries, yeah. When you offer products to your competitor, what are your intermediaries to your products, to your customers, and your suppliers? This is still your micro environment. Your macro environment, society, ethical, yeah, country specific, just now, yeah, economic condition, technology, and so on. And then when you want to create your presence in the digital market, you want to create presence in digital market, there you can have you can start with mapping the marketplace. What are the customer segment? You differentiate the customer segment according to their different needs. So whether they yes, existing customer versus new customers, what their needs, whether your customers are web savvy or non-web savvy, not familiar with the web. What is the demographic segmentation of your customer, life cycle segmentation of your customer, and also the psychographic segmentation of the customers. How do you do that? How do you obtain this information from your customer? You can do some search, generic search, product specific search, or brand search. You can use search engine like Google, Yahoo, and so on. Or you can use some vertical search engine specific for certain products, vertical search engine. You can use aggregators and so on. And then you have specialized directories. Some products have specialized directories. Then you find the intermediaries or media sites that you can use, horizontal portals or media, niche media, aggregators, affiliates, small affiliates, or blogs that you can use to map, and then you identify where you want to place information about your product, yeah, your company site, or with their online value proposition, or your direct competitors or indirect competitors. This is where you map your environment. Yeah. Search intermediaries, you can use Google Trends, for example. This is an example of Google Trend. You can just type Google Trend, you can see this. And then in terms of marketplace channel is how you can get hold of your customer. Essentially, according to Osterwalder, there are 5 components of channel. This is creating awareness. How do you pre-sales? Pre-sale, meaning sending a quotation, for example. How do you make a sale? How do you provide delivery? And then how do you provide after sales? 5 components. Yeah. So marketplace channels, you have these customers, you have your suppliers, and then suppliers have intermediaries or their channel or partners of their suppliers that sells to you. And then customer, there are business customer, B2B, or you have consumer customer, B2C, B2B and B2C, and then you have channel partners. Yeah, so you have B2C, business to consumer transaction, or you can have a B2B, business to business transaction, and then you will have intermediaries between these. Yeah, you have intermediaries. Show here. Yeah, these are intermediaries between your suppliers and also between your customers. You have intermediaries. Then for today, we have situation of disintermediation. Disintermediation is where you remove intermediary. For example, previously in the brick and mortar business model, we have producers sell to wholesalers, wholesaler sells to retailer, retailer sells to consumer, and then we remove the wholesaler, so producer can sell directly to the retailer, and retailer will sell to the consumer. In the assumption that when removing a middleman or intermediary will reduce the cost or the margin will be taken up by the wholesaler, and then consumer will receive a much lower price. Or you can remove also the retailer, so producer, B2C. This is B2C. Producer can sell directly to the consumer, B2C. This is disintermediation. This is the concept is called disintermediation. But today there is a tendency to have intermediary. We have re-intermediation. So when you have intermediary in A, we have intermediary. We remove the intermediary, it become disintermediation, and then we place back the intermediary, it become re-intermediation. Okay, let's discuss. Give example of re-intermediation. Give some example of re-intermediation that you can think of. Anybody? I think some time ago, when we want to book, when we want to go to hotels, of course we can go direct to the hotels, but we can also use a travel agent to book hotels, especially when you go abroad. You use travel agents. You have agencies that when you want to go to UK, some travel agent book the hotel for you because you cannot deal directly with certain hotel, except for very huge hotel that you can have access. There is a proper booking, but most hotels we use travel agencies to deal with them. Then it is intermediary, and then these hotels put up their website, and then you can book through their website. But today, how do you book hotels today? Do you deal direct with the hotel?
No, booking.com,
Yes.
Agoda.
Booking.com, Agoda, those are intermediary. So you can see the situation here, company A, say company, or you will say company. You want to go to hotel earlier, say in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 80s, you will need to intermediary, you need a travel agent. We remove the travel agent, we can book with the hotel. Now, we cannot deal with the hotel anymore. We need to use booking.com intermediary. They are intermediary. This is called re-intermediation. Why do we need re-intermediation? Why do we need these people? Booking.com, Agoda, Trivago, and so on. Why do we need them? Expedia. They are intermediary.
More information to make decision.
More information to make decision. Anybody else?
Compare price.
Compare price. Yes. May say optimize the resources. Yeah. So we can compare prices. This is the advantage for us. And then what about the hotel? What is the advantage for the hotel?
More channels to find them.
Yes, more channels to find them. We have access. They call it, they're harnessing the relationship, because you look into Expedia.com, they start with recommending place to visit and so on. Later on, they put in the hotel information. I can recall many years ago when I started to visit Expedia, they don't have this facility. They only tell where to visit and so on. But later on, they have this information about these hotels, and then we can book through them. So they have the hotels are harnessing into their access to the customers. Yeah, so so it is a win-win situation. The customers are able to check to find the lowest rate, and then the hotel can find uh, uh, are able to obtain customers directly. Not directly, meaning more customers. So we create intermediaries. So okay, this is an example, but I think I will not use this example. I will use Expedia and so on. So channel chain mapping. This is when you create channels. This is offline journey. We have awareness agent, search and select agent, negotiation, viewing, feedback. Mixed mode journey, we have word of mouth, search engine, estate agent at home, phone and email. Online journey, we have search engine, portal, book online, email, or text. This is the channel journey, channel chain map. And then we have macro environment. We have covered this. And the macro environment look into social, legal, ethical, taxation, economic, political, technological, competitive environment outside. It doesn't deal directly with the company, but it is outside of the realm of the company. But when in terms of microenvironment, it is the digital marketplace, it is related directly to the company, intermediaries, competitors. So this is the microenvironment that companies are facing, even the public at large today. This I've been repeating this. This is law and digital marketing. We have data protection, privacy law, disability. So we don't have this law currently in Malaysia. We have IP law, Brand Protection Act, we have contract law. Yeah. Okay, and then I think I want to skip a few pages. And then between privacy, security, accuracy, property, these are some ethical issues we need to look at in terms of personal information. Yeah, we need to look at the privacy, accuracy, property, who owns certain data, accessibility. And then, by the way, it is good to take note that privacy and security are actually not contradicting. It's actually privacy at one end, security is at one end. You cannot have both privacy and security to the extreme. You can have a balance between privacy and security. Yeah, they are not really contradicting, but it is compensating. When you have increased your security, you will lack the privacy. When you increase the privacy, you will reduce the security. Yeah, actually, because when you have extreme privacy, meaning that everybody will be anonymous. You do not know who enters your website. So everybody come in with a job registration, and then they don't have to tell who they are because it is privacy. It is their privacy. And then you do not know who do what in your website. When you have security, you need to have information of all those coming to your website, so you will prevent intruders or unnamed or anonymous people coming to your website. So that is security. So security and privacy are like the extreme of each other. Yeah. So 8 principles of data protection. It must be fairly and lawfully processed. It need to be processed for limited purposes, adequate and relevant, and not excessive. You need to be accurate. You don't keep the data longer than necessary. It's processed according with data subjects' rights. Need to be secure, not transferred to countries without adequate protection. Yeah. So this is a framework for localization. So Is Singh and Pereira 2005 provide evaluation framework for level of localization. We have standardized website which is not localized. Everything is provided local, single site, serve all customers segment, domestic and international. Standardized website, not localized. Semi-localized website, we have served all customers, but there will be some information meant for foreign, some information meant for foreigners, international. Yeah. Localized website, which is everything is local, adapted website to the local purpose only. And then you have highly localized website, which is country specific, everything with the language and so on. Or we have culturally customized website. It is immersed in together with the culture and so on. Yeah. So in terms of economic and politically, you need to ensure companies are competitive, ensure achieving the government efficiencies and look into taxation regimes. Technological issues that we need to look at is the rate of change of the technology, monitoring new techniques, new evaluation of early adopters, reskilling and retraining, whether your system is secure. This is Diffusion of Innovation by Rogers. You read the book by Robert Rogers, meaning that whenever you introduce a new technology, there were bound to be people who are innovators, opinion leaders, early majority, late majorities, and laggards. The numbers are actually relevant depending on the certain technology. Innovators are people, whenever you introduce a technology, they will immediately pick it up. They are, what do you call it? Very exploratory. They will explore any new technology. Opinion leaders, so they will look into new technology, do some assessment, and then they will buy in. They will get the technology. Early majority will look at opinion leaders. Opinion leaders will provide their opinion, and the early majority will follow. Late majority will look at numbers. People, when there are a number of people, huge number of people use certain technology, the late majority will follow. The laggards are people who do not want to adopt any new technology unless you push them. So you need to push them. So how do you attend to these adopters, innovation? How do you diffuse your innovation? Is you just provide innovation, new innovation to the innovators, they will use it immediately. Opinion leaders, when you have people that start using, they will also follow. Yeah, they will also follow, but with some support, some information. Early majority is you just provide basic data on the opinion leaders and then basic information on what are the comments of the opinion leaders, and then the early majority will follow. Late majority, you need to have the data, show that there are a large number of majority have used your technology, then they will follow. Laggards, you need to, once everybody have been using, they need to be provoked or pushed to use. So for example, today, if anybody is not using WhatsApp, it would be difficult to communicate. So you need to be pushed, for example. That's just an example. Okay, this is the example of Gartner hype cycle. This is quite some time. This is 2010. You can find a new one. This is August 2010. Technology trigger is when the technology start off. Peak of inflation, inflated expectation, and then they will fall when there is true of disillusionment, and then when people get to know detail, this is scope of alignment, and then at the end, this is the plateau of productivity of technology that is being productive. Yeah, so this is the period. Okay, this one covered the topic on the marketplace and e-environment. So you look into the marketplace, what are the marketplace? Based on this, you have micro environment and macro environment. And then relation of the e-environment that we have today. Yeah, issues that related to e-environment. New technology coming up. This is code. You can find a new one. Maybe next week I'll just get a new one from next week, Gartner hype cycle. Okay, any question? We still have 10 minutes. Any question for today's topic? Jefferson. Okay, no question. Clear. Okay. Safi, any questions, Safi?
No, Prof.
Okay. Okay, Ko Jabun. Hakimi, any question, Hakimi? Okay.
Okay, Prof.
Okay. May, any question, May?
Doctor, I have one question.
Yes.
Sorry, I just will not be able to get it. Is the financial report where we can get, and how? Yeah, probably we can do some analysis and do some assumption and get the management report. But I'm curious how we can solicit financial report if, let's say, want to get a similar industry or company as an example for us to start.
Okay, how do you get into a similar company? You can check around, okay, because these companies sometimes registered in certain group and so on, or you can explore around, you can see, okay, this company are doing the same activities as yours, or the same activities that you want to venture into, but they are already there, so you are a newcomer, they are already there, and so on. You identify these companies, several companies, so you get information from the SSM, because all these companies need to submit to SSM. Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, SSM, the company's commission, the company's commission Malaysia, SSM. So you can pay a small amount and then you can, actually it's online. You can download their financial statement, but this financial statement are basically financial reports. It is a financial accounting. Financial accounting is not meant for management purposes. It's meant for declaration of their income, so on, to provide true and fair view. You can look into financial statement. The purpose is about providing true and fair view of the position of the company. But you can work backward by understanding the industry and also by studying the notes to the accounts, and then you can break down the components or the figures in the financial accounts. You can break it down. Yeah, so and then when you break it down, you can see, you can more or less get certain information about their management accounts. I mean, close to the management account, but you'll not get full management accounts, but there are things that they need to declare. For example, depreciation, the revenue, and so on. Their debtors and so on, they will be there. So you can study their ratio, get their gearing, debt ratio analysis, and so on. You can work it out. You can work it backward. And then, based on the industry information, so the purpose is for you to develop your own pro forma, so you can project. You can project. If you are in the business, you can project. But if you want to develop a new business model, and then you can tweak it out, meaning make some changes so that to differentiate yourself from the company, because you have new, you have reduction of cost. For example, you have some, the cost, you can reduce the cost and so on. You have new method of doing and so on, and then you can work it out. But basically, you know how the other businesses are performing, are working out. How do they work? Does that answer you, May?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Any other question? Linaka, Shu, Jason?
No question, Prof. Thank you.
No question, yeah? Okay, Jefferson, okay? No question. Okay, Safi, any question, Safi?
No, Prof.
Yeah, Hakimi, okay, Hakimi?
Yes, Prof. Thank you.
Yeah. Shakim? Okay.
Good, Prof.
Yeah. Okay, if everybody is good, I think we can adjourn the class for today, and then we'll continue again next class. Now it's 9:55. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Good night, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eric.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Prof.
Thanks, Prof.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good night.